Well, hello and welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament, and we're looking at Matthew's Gospel, and we're up to chapter 10. This is the so-called Mission of the 12, and it has parallels in Mark and Luke. Kai para kalisaminos tus dodeka mathetas artou, edoken autois exousian pneumaton akathaton hosti ekbalen, auta kai therapeuein pasan noson kai pasan malakian. And having called to himself, the pros here has that sense of calling to him, so having summoned or called tus dodeka, his 12 disciples, edoken, this is from didomi, he gave to them exousian, authority. Now we get a genitive here, it's authority over, I think here with the genitive, authority over, power over the unclean spirits. Hosti, so as to cast them, the outer, this is the from the pneumata, cast out them, the unclean spirits, and to heal, pasan noson kai pasan malakian. Now we had that very phrase just in the last paragraph of the previous chapter. In fact, back in verse 35, of every disease, nosos is a second declension, but it's feminine, hence pasan. Every disease and every malady, I suggested, is probably a nice translation from malakia. It means weakness, we might perhaps say disability in this context, might fit it as well. Tone dodeka, and of the 12 apostles, the names are these. Protos, first of all, Simon hot legomenos Petros, kai Andreas Hydelphus artou. Now it's very interesting, I always think, to look at New Testament names and to see which ones are Jewish and which ones are Greek, which gives just perhaps tiniest bit of insight into the upbringing of these people, that their parents decided whether to give them a traditional Jewish name or a Hellenistic name. So Shimon, Simon, being called Petros. Now, of course, although this is a Greek name here, it's of course a translation of the Aramaic Kephas, which is what Jesus called him. So this is not his real proper name. His name is Simon or Shimon, and Jesus called him Kephas, but it's been translated here, of course, as Petros, and it comes to us as Peter. But Andreas, which is a Greek name, is the name of his brother. So he comes from a family where they've called one of the sons by a traditional Jewish name and the other by a Hellenistic Greek name. Kayakobos hotu Zebediah, and Jacob, or often rendered as James, the son of Zebediah. Notice they leave out huios here. It's hot huios too, but quite commonly in classical Greek as well, you just leave that out. You just say the son of Zebediah. And John, his brother, again it's a Jewish name, Ioannes. We now get a Greek name, Phillipos, lover of horses, and Bartolomeos. This is an Aramaic name, in fact. Bar is the Aramaic word for son of, like Ben in classical Hebrew. So Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthias, the tax collector. These again Jewish names, and Matthias, of course, is known as Levi in other lists. Jacobos, James, hot to Alphaeus, the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus. And again, there's a variant reading here. There are other names given here, such as Lebios, and so on. The Simon, the Canaanite, and Judas, the Iscariotes. Now it's not completely clear what this name means here, and there's been I'll leave you to look at the commentaries. There's lots of different theories about this. Some have connected this with a Latin word for a little dagger used to assassinate people, so it could be Judas the one who assassinates. That is, he's part of one of these Jewish groups that were opposed to the Romans and took out their frustrations in physical ways, but there are other theories about this as well. You need to look in the commentaries. But he adds here hoc kai paradous auton from paradidomi, he also the one having betrayed him. Now you might like to compare the four different lists. We have four different lists of the apostles in the New Testament. The one here, Mark 3 starting at 3:16, Luke 6:14, and Acts 1:8. And we get, in fact, if you list them out, you get four slightly inconsistent lists, and it would appear that by the time of the early church they knew the main disciples of Jesus, but some of the later ones that we don't hear very much about were not quite so clear exactly who they were, and we get inconsistent lists in different places. So he then commissions the 12 and he sends them out. And again, this is mentioned in Mark and Luke. Tutus dodeca apestelen hoiesus paragelas autois legon. And Jesus sent these 12 parangelas autos, having given commanding to them, so having reported to them, saying, Eis hodon enthon me ap elthete. So do not go, literally, into the way of the Gentiles. So do not go into the roads leading to the Gentiles, so literally the nations, and do not enter into the city of the Samaritans. And it's fairly clear, I think, from much of the Gospels, you see that Jesus saw his mission as primarily towards the Jewish people and not to the Gentiles. We see this in numerous places, and here he's actually explicitly telling his disciples not to go near the Gentiles, nor the Samaritans for that matter, but go rather pros ta probita, to the sheep, ta apololota. This is a perfect participle agreeing with probita from apolumi. So apolumi can mean to destroy, can also mean to be lost, and that's what it is here, and this is a perfect participle. So to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Porominoi de kerusete legontes hoti, and going proclaim, saying, and then we get probably hoti recitative here, so I've just inverted commas. Angiken, this is the perfect from engizdo, if you're looking this one up. It's engizdo. You get engos meaning near, and the verb engizdo is to draw near. So the kingdom of the heavens, engiken, has drawn near. As thenuntas therapuete, we get a whole list now of imperatives, second person plural imperatives. So heal the ones who are sick. This is from the participle from asthenio, literally to be weak, but often used in the sense of being weak due to illness. So heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, and cast out the demons. So we get four commands here. Dorian elabete, Dorian dote. It's a nice little expression here. You received from Lambano, Dorian, freely, Doti, imperative from Didomi, aorist imperative, give freely. Now Dorian is in fact an accusative from Dorea, which is a word meaning a gift, and this is just the accusative, so it's a first declension alpha pure noun. It's a classical word, but the use of the accusative is probably a Septuagintalism. That is, there was a Hebrew word meaning freely, and it was translated in the Septuagint repeatedly by Dorian, this accusative, and it just comes into the language that way. So it probably is it results from its usage in the Septuagint from the noun doria. Me katesthè kruson medi agoron medi kalkon estas sones humon. Do not possess from ktaamai. Again, it's an imperative here. Do not possess. It's a subjunctive, I should say, with may. So it's using the subjunctive here with may as a command. Do not take or do not possess gold and silver, gold nor silver, nor kalkon, bronze. That's probably referring to money. Es tas sones humon, in your belts. So money was often kept in little compartments in one's belt. Me peran. We have to understand this same verb, do not possess. A pera. A pera is a little leather pouch, a little leather bag that you would put money or food into for the way. Nor, understand again, possess, dua ketonas, to ketone was the sort of inner garment, undergarments. Oddly enough, we have mede hypodermata, nor sandals. Now, it may be that you're meant to take this duot, 2 pairs of sandals, otherwise they're meant to go barefoot, presumably. But it says here, nor sandals, nor rabdon, nor a staff. Axios gates tes trophes autou. For the worker, understand, is axios, worthy, tes trophes autou. Trophe is your sustenance, your food, the thing that nourishes you. Trepho is the word for to nourish, so that you get this noun trophe. So the worker is worthy of his food, of his nourishment. Es hen polin e komen es elthete, exetasate tis enaute axios esti. Into whichever city, so we get a reverse here of the word order, which often happens in Greek. So into whichever city or village you might go. So it's literally into that which, a city or village. So into whichever village or city you may go. Exetasate is an imperative. It's from ex etasdo. So if you're looking this up, this is not an augment in here. It's part of the main verb here. So it's ex etasdo. It's to inquire or to look into, or to look carefully. The ex emphasizes this. So look carefully. And the grammar's a little bit odd here. We get who nominative, who is worthy in it. So it's inquire as to who in it is worthy. Not clear what worthy means here, but that's what it says. Kake for kai eke, and there mainete, aorist imperative, remain, heos an, until you leave, until you come out. And going into the house, aspasaste, again imperative from aspasdo, to greet, so greet it. The Altanes agreeing with the oikian. Kai an men a he oikia axia. The a here, of course, is the subjunctive from the verb to be. So if the house might be worthy, after e'an, elthato, imperative from erchomai, let your peace go upon it, that is, upon the oikia, the house. But if it might not be worthy, again we get a subjunctive here, your peace, let your peace return to you. From epi, this is from epistrepho. So this is an imperative here. So let your, and we get a vowel change as well. So let your peace return to you. Kai hosan deixetai humas, medi acuse tus logus humon, ex hercomene komenoi exo tes oikias tes polios sikenas exatinaxiti ton konioton ton podon kulmon. And whoever might receive, subjunctive, you, so whoever doesn't receive you, nor hears your words, going out of the house, so we get a nice, Greek loves to repeat the prepositions here, ex, komenoi, exo, so going out we would say from the house, just to get some variation, or from that city, ektinaxiti, this is from the verb ektinasso, double sigma, and this is the aorist imperative. Tinasso is a good old classical word meaning to shake, and ektinasso is to shake off. So shake off, koni or ton. The word for dust in earlier Greek is konis, third declension. This is a second declension neuter, koni or ton. It's a slightly more homely form of that noun. Probably is still in classical Greek as well, but konis is the more usual form. Koni or ton is a neuter here, meaning dust. So shake off the dust of your feet, perhaps an ablative genitive here, from your feet. Truly I say to you, anektoteron estai ge sodomon kai gormoron en hemera chrysios e te pole ekene. Truly I say to you, estai, future from Amy, it will be. Now we get this, this is a comparative with the teros ending, and it's from anektos, and that itself is, the ek here it comes from the echo, to have or hold, and unecho is to bear or to put up with, and so this is a comparative adjective, and it's connected with unecho. So it will be more bearable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And that's the first section of chapter 10.